New Horizon update is bad news for PlayStation 5 fans. Tyler Fisher over comicbook.com. New development in the industry is not great for fans of Horizon, for sure. Developer Guerrilla Games debuted the Horizon series back in 2017 with the release of Horizon Zero Dawn. It then built upon this with the 2022 release of Horizon Forbidden West. And now PlayStation fans are eagerly anticipating the third game. Dude, there's a third game coming, which should release sometime around 2027? If the gap between Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West is any indicator. Whether this will make it a PS5 game or a PlayStation 6 game remains to be seen. If it releases around 2027 or 2028, it could end up on both. Yeah, well, that's how that goes. An instrumental part of the creation of Horizon and its direction since has been John Gonzalez. While many know the name as the writer behind Fallout New Vegas, he actually worked on as narrative director on both Horizon games and was particularly responsible for the game's lore. He's been an important piece of the series, but he left Guerrilla Games back in 2020. From here, he went to Smilegate, Barcelona, before moving on to Fantastic Pixel Castle, and later of which he departed in 2024 of October, leaving the door open for potential return to PlayStation. And this happens quite often in the industry. Leads at studios leave and eventually find their way back. This could happen eventually, but it's not going to happen anytime soon because he's now the creative director at Obsidian Entertainment as of this week. In other words, Horizon series will need to continue without him. Michael, should we be nervous?
I think so, right? I feel like there's tons of examples of series. You get a couple of great games, creative director leaves, story director leaves, you get that third one, and it just feels like something's missing, right? The game doesn't hit the same way. The story, you're like, what about this? What about that, right? So very important for creators of Horizon over there at Guerrilla Games to make sure, hey, how do we make sure we don't miss any story gaps? How do we make sure everything, all our I's are dotted, all our T's are crossed through? Because the last thing you want when you have a sequel, especially if it ends up being a PlayStation 6 game, maybe a launch title with the PlayStation 6, depending on when it comes out, you don't want that to backfire on you. So they got to make sure they hit their mark. Otherwise, this could be another game where the third one in the trilogy just kind of misses the mark.
No, there's definitely a little bit of worrisome in there, right? But before he left, how much of this did they already have fleshed out? When you're getting in there and they're building that trilogy, how much has already been documented? How much has already been planned out? The lore has already been in there and created, right? So part of me is a little skeptical, a little nervous, but at the other side of it, maybe he's already had it all planned out. It's already done. And then people just got to come in and find, finish pieces of the story. I'm really being optimistic, actually, is what it is. But it's still one of those things. Yeah, this could be very concerning, but a big pickup on the other side for Obsidian, right? That's a huge get for them. What are they building next? He said he's not for Vegas 2. Keep note on that. So, what is next then?